Morning, YouTube. I believe today's Thursday morning, at least over here, where I live, California. Got some coffee over here. So, something I wanted to talk about today was life experiences and global events. And I want to put this out there right now. Sometimes it will sound like I'm saying the same thing over and over again in these next, or I guess in any video, but that's the point. The point is not to forget what the mission is, what the goal is, right? So aside from that, let's just start the video. Life experiences. Having life experiences is very important, right? You can't just go around living life just existing only for the fun of it. Because when you only have fun and when you don't challenge yourself, you're not really living the life that you can be living. You're not really fulfilling your potential. You're not really loving yourself. Part of life is struggle. Part of life is hardship. You must challenge yourself. You have to put yourself through hardship if you want to grow as a person, your character. And I guess just in general, right? You just want to grow in general. You can't stay stagnant, because if you stay stagnant, then you'll just be a vegetable sitting on the couch for the rest of your life. No goals, no ambitions. And then when you're on your deathbed, perhaps you'd say, what if I had more time? What if I had more time? But really, what's going on there is that you've been living on borrowed time, borrowed confidence. Because like I've always mentioned, or I've mentioned before, there's no tomorrow. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. There is no tomorrow. So that's why you have to give it your best now. And I'll admit, even now at my job, there's some things today that, they're going to be a challenge for me. They're going to be a new experience. But part of life is facing new experiences head on. You can't coward and then start blaming others or yourself that I'm not here because I'm not where I want to be because of this, that, or myself. You have to take accountability for yourself. You have to say, actually, I'm gonna do it, and we'll see what I learned from this. Let's see. If I'm successful, I'm successful. What if I succeed? You have to keep that mentality. You have to believe it. And you have to also keep that mentality when you lose. I won. I won how? Because I got a lesson out of it. If you choose to believe that, right? You have to push yourself. And right now, I'm going to push myself, right? New experience, new challenge. That's the only way you could grow mentally. And in some cases, physically, if you go to the gym, right? Or, you should strive to go if you have the money. But if you don't have money, well, then there's a park and, well, the internet, right? I've seen a lot of people living in comfort, and I'm not perfect. I know I'm not. For the longest, I've been living that way too, just comfort and comfort and comfort. And then I just got to the point and I said, enough is enough. I can't be like this for the rest of my life. I was defeated once, I got defeated twice, and the second time hit different. And I told myself, no more, that's it. The moment you let comfort sink in, that's the moment you lose. That's the moment where you become a slave to it. Life is brutal. It's just no one's gonna come and help you. You have to do that yourself. You can only inspire so many people. Do this instead of doing that. But at the end of the day, that's up to the individual. That's up to them to see how they'll take the life experience. But if they choose not to take it that way, then there's nothing you can do. It'll be like talking to a wall. So that's just the way the dough rolls. I don't know. Well, I don't know what I was thinking there. But you get the point I'm trying to make, right? Life experiences, you can't really control what's outside of yourself. You can only control what's inside of here, right? Life is going to throw you whatever's going to throw you. Expect nothing from anyone, but expect everything from the world. That's the way you have to think. And when life throws you a brick, you have to choose to let the brick make you stronger, physically and mentally. And say, you could throw as many bricks as you want. I'm stronger than I was before. My mental fortitude, you cannot penetrate it. You could hurt my body, but you cannot hurt my mind and soul, right? I don't know why you did that. And another thing is, you'll probably say, but so-and-so said I can't do this. I can't do this because of the world. Those are just all excuses made up in your head. The words people say only carry weight and meaning if you choose to let it have weight and meaning. Other than that, words coming out of people's mouth targeted towards you, they're just words. They're just words. If you want to take it with weight and meaning, then that's the only thing you're gonna get. It's the same thing with your thoughts, right? Like I mentioned last video, I believe, right? It's the same thing with words coming from others. Nah, they don't believe in me. They're not cheering me on. So what? So what? Like, you are your biggest critic, but you're also your biggest supporter. And you have to start acting like that. You gotta start acting like that. Remember, it's you against you, no one else. It's your words against your words. You choose what you want to say to yourself. Either, yes, I'm gonna be successful, or what if I can't? What if you can, right? And moving on to global events, right? There's a lot of things that are happening, you know, the whole stuff in occupied Palestine, the stuff going on in Latin America, especially Venezuela and Mexico, right? Yes, it's important to stay informed, right? When we stay informed, well, then you know that, you know, we have an idea to how to prepare ourselves mentally, and I guess stockpile on food, water, whatever, right? Financially. But I've noticed that it's gone to the point where people just watch and watch and watch the news. They watch feedback on the news. No, not feedback, for whatever the news says, right? It's come to that point. It's come to the point where people lose that self-control and say, oh, I'm anxious. I need to depend on the news to see what'll happen in the future. Who cares about that? It's your future. Why should you let the external world dictate where you want to be in life? When you're anxious, when you always tune into the news, you're giving it power over your life. You're not establishing your own sovereignty. You're letting the news establish it over you. Just like tiny hats over Palestine, right? As an example. Watching the news, you know, it's important, right? But you have to be able to control the amount of it you watch. Me, I watch it maybe once or twice a week now, right? That's it. No worries. No worries. But you also have to think, is my news source accurate? Am I being lied to? Because mainstream media, they like to paint a picture, but not the whole thing, right? They'd like to paint part of a picture, but not the whole thing. And it's like this. If the news tells you, oh, that's not true, don't do this, blah, 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 you should probably go do some of your own investigation to make further thorough investigation, not believe anything they just tell you, especially since, you know, that thing that happened in 2020 to 2022, 2023, something like that, the VAXX, I'm just gonna put it like that, we were all lied to, right? And people still choose to believe lies. They choose to still believe the lies. A lot of people are in denial. They want to still live and strive in a world that was crafted by a reality crafted by the few elites, right? Like I've mentioned. They don't want to break themselves from that reality, from the Matrix, rather, right? When, you know, the guy was, oh, here's a pill, here's a pill. You want to see the reality, or you want to stay bliss and ignorant and, you know, whatever. Most people aren't willing to take the pill to break themselves from that reality, to see how things truly are, right? So a lot of people just end up being slaves. Most people end up being slaves. Most people, they choose willingly or unwillingly live in that reality instead of crafting their own, believing that whatever's happening in the world, they're all disconnected. But really, if you place a little bit more close attention, everything's kind of adding up, right? Like a political theater, not political theater, but yes, I guess like a theater, right? Like theater opera, you have your actors, they go through the script, and you, the audience, you believe the drama, right? You believe the acting. That's really what's going on. I really don't know where I was going with those last few thoughts, but I would recommend all of you to dig a little deeper and see what's really going on, right? One way you could is look at your dollar bill, $1 bill. It should say this is a legal tender for debt, all public and private. What does that really mean? These are debt notes backed by debt. They're notes backed by debt. They're useless. It's not like how we were backed by silver and gold way back in the day. Our money actually carried weight. The only thing that's giving it weight now is our stance as a global currency that's slowly, not slowly, but as I say, is rapidly coming to a descent. And once that currency crashes, our money's going to be worthless, right? So that's one thing to look out for. And then if you look at the other side of the dollar bill, you have the thing that says the New World Order and the Illuminati. Of course, the news is gonna say that's conspiracy theory, right? It's whatever, right? Believe what you want to believe, but I personally believe that it's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. So yeah, I think that's about it. I think I've said everything that's on my mind, at least for now, right? Anyways, later.